You're watching Detroit's own WHPR TV. Detroit Live.
This is Theo Broden from Feedback. You can watch me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at WHPR TV Now app. Download our free app at WHPR TV Now.
Monday at 9 a.m. Eastern.
Yes, we are hot now this morning. We have our first guest today, and that is Tawana Morris, and she's been on with us before, but she has a serious issue to talk about this morning, and we talk about all of the people who were murdered over the past couple of days, and the mass shootings, and there are those making excuses for them. They were mentally ill, and maybe they were, but it just seems to me that they were racist, because one even said that he went to the shopping mall this past weekend because he knew there would be a lot of Hispanics and Mexicans in that location. But what about the victims? Maybe somebody will take some time to talk about them as opposed to what happened over the weekend. And I can't help but wonder, the governor we had back in 1998, and John Engler, who started destroying the Detroit public school system, who worked at Michigan State, who was there 20 years ago when NASA was molesting the young girls, who was brought back for some strange reason as interim president. And he was there 20 years ago when the young girls were being molested. So you got to wonder what goes on in the minds of some people. But we have to be glad that he's no longer governor of the state of Michigan with all of the destruction that he brought. Anyway, speaking of governors, law enforcement, and lack of law enforcement, and racism, we want to now have Tawana Morris to talk to us about what happened to her and her daughter. Tawana, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you. And the situation that is occurring today with our young people as well as elders is mental illness. It's hard to someone who don't understand mental illness, but in my daughter's situation, she suffers from bipolar, and she was, to make a long story short, being held against her will. When she escaped, and she lives in Noonan, Georgia. She was in Gwinnett County, Georgia, when this situation happened. When she was able to get away, literally and frantic, she ran to the houses in the neighborhood asking for help. One house had a police car. They didn't come out. But eventually, several different homeowners came out. She was able to tell them to please call the police to help me. Please call to help me. And she had 2 Yorkie support dogs. They're miniature teacups. And she looked frantic. And this, after my investigation, actually went and talked to these people, found out the horrific ordeal that my daughter went through. Finally, to make a long story short, they looked, in my opinion, looked at her as a throwaway somebody that they did not want in their upscale, rich community. It was the Good Samaritans in the neighborhood that helped my child. They gave her such things like a cord for her internet phone. When the police came, they did not listen. She gave them vital information, and we're talking about people with guns and people doing criminality, what she's seen and what she escaped from. 8 cars came to that location. The police called the vet for the dogs because they were going to take the dogs, she believed and I believe. There was no reason to take the dogs because the dogs were well taken care of. They did not take her report. They dropped her off at a Holiday Inn. The people followed her. And I found this to be true because when I got there, when she got to me on the telephone, I put her away for 3 days until I got there.
Wait, I think you need to correct that. You put her away.
I put my daughter in I put my daughter in a safe place, in a hotel. I paid for it until I got there. And after I did the investigation and talked to all the people, and I personally, and to this day, to the woman who gave my daughter a phone cord, I thank you because she's living today. To the man that gave my daughter a end piece to put the cord into the wall, I thank you. To the restaurant who protected my daughter until she was able to get an Uber and safely see her. These people was following my daughter because she knew something. There is a rave of smash and grabs and armed robbery that's going on in Georgia. These might be those people. The police department took information, but they wouldn't take the report, and they did not. They neglected to help her. They told her that they called me 4 times. That was impossible because at the same time I was looking for my child. I knew something was wrong because I hadn't heard from my child in 2 days. And I normally have a regular relationship with my daughter. When I did the investigation, after I thanked everybody, she looked real bad. She was, I can't even explain. She was in a one-piece jumpsuit, like, looked like a bunny rabbit type jumpsuit in 90-degree weather with 2 Yorkies. She's asking for help and she didn't get it. I got there. I went to Gwinnett County. She made the report. I went to Gwinnett County. And I asked to speak to the chief of police. Denied. Asked to make a report, denied. Looked in, and I gave them the report that my daughter did. He looked at the sergeant, it's Officer Smith and Sergeant badge number 518. Looked into the computer and said, oh, there was no run on that day to that location. Just plain and simple, nothing happened. But mind you, I told them, you mean to tell me 8 to 10 cars come to a location and you don't have a report on it? And then I come to find out there was some arrest at the location where my daughter told them, but no information about my daughter and no help. And the officer told my daughter, I'm not going to take you here. My daughter begged to be locked up. I'm not going to lock you up. Just took her to the hotel and dropped her off in the driveway. My daughter, and it's not just for my daughter. If there's somebody out there that's reaching and begging for help, it's law enforcement the responsibility to at least step up and make the report. Now my daughter is laying in the hospital, but I got her back here. And I am so thankful to all of the Good Samaritans. One lady even gave my daughter $40. She asked my daughter, did she need any money? My daughter says, no, I'd like to get something for my dogs. She gave my daughter some money. Thank you. You helped. The young girl that was the cashier at the restaurant, She turned the internet on to let my daughter talk to me. I went back and I thanked the corporation. They all explained to me that these people were following my daughter at these different times. And I can't make a report. Oh, there's going to be a report. And to all of you, you see someone and you know something is strange, I'm not going to ask you to get up and help. I'm going to ask you to get them some help. Call the police department. Your job is to protect and serve. I lived it. I protect and serve. So, again, to all of you that helped my daughter until I got there. It was a stranger, a man at the hotel that has a daughter. They gave my daughter some clothes to wear. They gave her dogs something to eat. I thank the hotel that kept my daughter without sight unseen using my credit card. Gwinnett County, they definitely need some type of teaching, help, responsibility, training, sensitivity training. I thank you. And again, to the families and to the people that helped my daughter when she screamed and for help. You helped her. I'm forever indebted.
So now, what is the next step? You say your daughter's in the hospital.
Yes.
Have you contacted anyone else here or in Georgia? Or what's your next step?
My next step is to find some legal counsel to get these people's names out to, I want to contact the GBI. That's the Georgia Bureau of Investigations.
Okay.
And reach out to the FBI. These are dangerous people, and it's so dangerous I really don't want to even talk because I have my daughter health and welfare. But I was really outdone when the officer and the sergeant didn't allow me to make the report, didn't allow me to file a complaint. Nothing.
Wow.
What I see is tragic. One of the two things is, number one, a lot of times these small towns, because I'm imagining it's not a heavily populated or large city, that the city within Gwinnett County, and it seems like, there's no slight against Southern people, but a lot of times, because I've been in a lot of Southern towns, even this year, some of the smaller ones, and you just don't seem to have the same sort of professionalism that you do when you're dealing with a larger city. And I feel, just from my own personal experience, they also seem to be indifferent. So I feel for you on that. And then also, I think this is a wake-up call to anyone who has a child or someone who may have a circumstance or situation
Or special disability.
special needs that we have to, as a community, as you said, and I agree wholeheartedly, a lot of times we don't want to get involved, but we absolutely must become involved in this, because this type of thing is not supposed to happen. And every arm of the law and all the other elements that come into it are supposed to participate in a resolution. So I certainly wish you success on that, and hope that those who are negligent, even in law enforcement, are brought to task on that.
And these people were from all nationalities, all race, creed, color, that reached out to help my child.
The county, what is it, Gwinnett County?
Gwinnett
You're
County,
saying
Georgia.
it's a multiracial community.
Well, that particular area is a wealthy neighborhood. But the woman that came to the drive-through, she saw my daughter out there, and all my daughter was asking is for a plug. Do anybody have a plug? Because her internet phone, she had an internet phone, and to get power, She wasn't begging for no money. And the fact that the people, she went to several different places. She went to one hotel and they closed their doors and wouldn't allow her in. She went to a dealership and it was a black man. At the dealership, upscale dealership, he told her she needed to be in the public's eye. And all these are in the same proximity. And then when she went inside and asked the lady, could she turn her internet on, she was able to call me. When the police dropped her off at the Holiday Inn, they dropped her off in the parking lot. She had to beg the people for a cord. And one of the maintenance people, and I'm telling you, this is just everyday people. The maintenance man had a cord, and that's all he had. He gave her the cord. She was able to put the cord in the computer. When she asked the woman at the hotel Holiday Inn, could she use the internet, she said it was for paying customers only.
It's sad that policy seems to stand out over just basic humanity, basic courtesy. So those who came to the aid, may they be blessed. And for those who just felt like corporate policy or whatever was more important than just an individual, and particularly I have to say, because she's a female, who are much more vulnerable in this society than men are, although we all vulnerable, the fact that they could turn her back on them. I just hope that they re-examine their policies, because I would, without hesitation, I go for humanity over institutional policy anytime.
Especially when it's law enforcement. The police, and this came from the citizen I talked to. The police called your mother. The police told me they knew I was a police officer because my daughter told them, please call my mother.
Now, tell me this. What about the ACLU? Do they have an ACLU in Georgia? Do they play any role in this?
At this particular moment, only thing I could think of is to get my daughter to safety. And now we're here in Detroit. It's still a possibility that these people are after my daughter for what she knows and what she has seen. I am looking for help.
Yeah, I'm not sure, because I associate with political people who are social activists as well, but I don't know, and like you say, your most, and obviously immediate concern is your daughter. Now, I don't know if there's like an attorney general or some larger agency that oversees the smaller agencies like the police department, who can bring them to respond in terms of why they did or did not do certain things, because as you say, a lot of this stuff is documented anyway. So it seems that there's got to be some, as in any, I guess, situation, you have different levels of authority, and I just look at that as one of the things that, now that you know that she's safe here and everything, to look at those different levels of authority, because if I can't get it from the person at the counter, then I have to go to their boss, and their boss has a boss.
I did that. I wanted to speak to the chief of police. I was not allowed. I asked the sergeant, badge number 518, is there a private room we could go to that I can talk to him? And he said, nope, this is it. And then it's out in the common area where everybody can hear. So I gave him the report. And I said, here, so you read it. And I gave him my ID showing that I was Elizabeth's mother from Detroit. And he read it, and then he said, he looked in his computer, and then he says, I don't have a record of any calls being in that location on that date and time.
It's sad, because when we consider body cams. There's so many different elements and levels of documentation that police, you got a run sheet, you got so many things that are supposed to be documented once they come in. So for him to even deny it, that's why I think, like, even with the chief of police, we're dealing with his small jurisdiction, and then there should be someone who oversees that jurisdiction. We have a caller. I don't know. Hopefully, they can have some positive input. Yes. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Would you share your name and how you're viewing us, please?
Yeah, my name is Keith Hines, Diamond 2 Productions, Good Research, We Detroit, We the People, UIN, et cetera, et cetera.
Happy Monday, Keith.
Yeah, hey, how's everybody? And I'm looking at you on WHPRLiveOnline.com.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, I can see you. Can't hear you, but I can see you.
Uh-oh. Can't hear us. I gotta see
Yeah,
about
y'all
that.
had a question. I didn't get to hear what y'all were at the topic. What were y'all actually talking about?
Well, first let me tell you this. 868-6612, let them know that you can hear us on WHPR Live, okay? Tawana Morris is here this morning to talk about an incident that happened with her daughter in Georgia. And she was kidnapped, and then when she was able to get away, she went to a variety of houses within that community, and there was a handful of people who did actually respond and call 911 to get the police there. The police came, and they did not accept a report, did not take a report, but they did take her to a local motel and just dropped her off there, where she was able to contact her mother to let her know where she was. And so Tawana went down and got her, but she was able to get an Uber to go to a hotel and remain in a safe, location until her mom was able to get to Georgia. So that's what we've been talking about.
Well, what kind of excuse did the police use for not wanting to take a report?
Keith, we're in Georgia, down.
He told
it's down
her
south. They
that
don't
he
need
was
a,
not going to make a report. He didn't care about her car. He didn't care about. He wasn't going to take her to jail because she was saying, "Arrest me." And then the perpetrators told the police to bring her back to them. She, yeah, and she said, "Oh no!" Said, "Take me to jail. Take me to jail." And he says, "I'm not gonna put you in jail, and I'm not gonna pawn you off onto the tow yard, and I'm not gonna take you back to Noonan, Georgia."
and
Wow.
they don't need an excuse other than they're white. How about that? It's called white privilege,
And it was,
regardless to the job that you have sworn allegiance to.
and it was the
That-
good Samaritans in the community, into the different locations, people she didn't even know, race, creed, or color. They did reach out to help her son until she was able. I was able to put her in a safe place until I got there.
I'll be so glad when this Mr. Trump gets out of office, because it seems like a certain group of people are so comfortable and happy doing all the wrong things they love to do to us.
You are so right. So we're hoping that that does take place, and that people wake up, and from the atrocities that happened over the past few days, that they learn from that as well. It seems that he has unleashed an attitude that has motivated negative actions, which have turned into the murdering of large groups of people. So we agree with you, I'm sure.
Okay, well, I ain't going to take up too much of your time.
All
but
right.
wait a minute.
Well, thank you.
The fall class for avionics, Davis Aerospace, will be happening at the airport this
Oh.
fall in September.
Oh, okay. Now, when and how do the students register?
Well, they have to be a Davis student. It's an extension. It's like a class
Okay.
from Davis.
So
Yeah. So if they
Okay.
enroll in Davis, then they can take part in the avionics course.
So they're going to enroll in DPS and take a role and take the class in avionics
Well,
at the city airport, now called Coleman Young International Airport, right?
right. They got to enroll DPS at Davis Aerospace. It's not open to all the other schools. This is like a classroom extension from
Right.
Davis.
Okay. And I'm just trying to be clear on how they become a part of it.
Oh, yes. Call Davis Aerospace, go lightly.
Okay.
Uh,
Number?
I don't have a number right now with
Okay.
me. I'm looking around for.
Oh,
Or you
okay.
can call Beverly Kendall Walker.
Okay, that number's good.
And I have her number. Let me see.
Okay.
Right here is area code 313,
Mm-hmm.
and it's 618
Mm-hmm.
9749.
618-9749.
Right.
313.
Beverly Kendall Walker.
618-9749.
Yep, that's it.
Okay. All right. We'll
So
get
yeah,
that. All right.
7 years it took us. It took us 7
Oh
years.
Lord, to get to this point.
That's great.
But young people who are interested in becoming pilots and airplane mechanics should call that number and get the directions to be enrolled in that class. Okay.
Right, and we
All
got
right.
Delta Airlines taking part of the hiring program.
Delta
That's
Airline.
great.
Oh wow.
That's
Yes,
great.
Delta Airlines.
That's the largest, one of the largest airlines. Oh, that's wonderful information. Okay.
They've been with us. We just couldn't really put it out there publicly because all of politics.
Gotcha. Oh, tell me about it. All right. Thank you so much for calling there. And,
And good luck. I hope everything gets straightened out down there.
Oh, it will. It will. As long as my child is safe.
and each Monday, call in to remind us about this. Okay.
Okay, sure will.
right.
Yes,
Okay.
I sure will.
Thank
All
you.
right, take care, everybody.
All righty. Thank you. Next.
Okay, we have another caller, and I want to ask our engineer if he will, if it's not a problem, to put the call-in numbers on. Hello, caller, you're on the air. Would you share your name and how you're viewing us, please?
Yes, my name is Mrs. Thomas, and I'm viewing you on 90 Comcast.
Thank you for calling. Go ahead. With your
Yes,
comment. Mm-hmm.
I would like to say to the young lady, first of all, I'm sorry that happened. I have a situation going on here with my grandson where he was murdered by St. Clair Shores policemen,
Oh.
and
oh.
we know that because of our skin color, a lot of times things have happened to us that is not happening to the other people.
Mm-hmm.
But I
Yes.
would like to say to her, maybe she can get in touch with the Department of Justice
Okay.
and see
a
what
good
happens
suggestion.
there. Yes,
Thank you.
Suggestion, right.
Thank you.
The
That's
Department
my
of
suggestion.
Justice. Oh,
Yes.
thank you, Ms. Thomas, for sharing
You're
that.
welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I know.
And I guess
Someone
that's no other
Okay,
cause,
go
but
ahead.
yeah, that's kind of my thought. Sometimes it has to be some pressure from above to actually cause someone from below to act. You know, a lot of times we've been in situations where the person that we deal with immediately think they can dismiss us and that everything is just a closed case, but then they find out, like when you mentioned Theo, ACLU, there's so many different things. But yeah, we're with you in support of what you're doing.
Thank you.
And if there's petitions to sign, whatever it is that's necessary to get them going, because a lot of times, I guess even with the freedom of enslaved Africans, if there's no pressure put on the situation and the situation doesn't work out, if you don't have pressure on the job, particularly if there's no union, then corporate people feel like they don't have to do anything. So we have to put the spotlight on them, make them uncomfortable, and then they have to answer to somebody. If they don't want to answer to us, like she said, Department of Justice, we make them answer to somebody. And
Yes.
her rights were violated as well. And so that becomes another avenue to pursue. But just beware, it's over, Gwyneth County.
Thank you.
You're right.
Thank you. And to the people that are dealing with mental illness, we need to pay more attention, be more attentive, I believe, especially if you have an introvert child that don't talk a lot. We need to wrap our arms around them and make sure, or just be conscious of their surroundings, and try to learn more, get more help, be more attentive to a special needs child. A lot of times, a lot of people don't know until something go wrong. I hear a lot of stories about, especially mothers of murdered children, and now their child is not here, and and mothers have that feeling to know something is wrong. Grab a hold to your child, mother. I'm not a father, so I can't say fathers, but I'm sure fathers, you're a father.
Yes.
In your way, we need to pay more attention to our children. I don't care. My daughter is 37 years old, and when I told some people she was 30, they said, well, what is that? I mean, she old enough to know better. Someone that has a medical disability, you don't look at the age, you look at the disability and what we can do to make it better for them.
I think that's a very critical point too, because there are certain things within our community, and that's what we're talking about now, within our community that we don't discuss. And I happen to have friends and acquaintances who have special needs, including bipolar. And because I'm aware of what they have, and I was happy that they felt comfortable enough with me to express that, then it shines a whole different light on how I interact with them. And we can't just turn our heads away. I know recently on Facebook somebody, and I've got a lot of Facebook friends, but someone, and this is kind of an offshoot, but the same point. The point that they made was we have to get to a point where black men stop quote unquote mean mugging each other. It's like when we look at each other, we have to look at each other as we're adversaries, as opposed to how you doing, brother? Is everything okay? That kind of thing. We've got this thing within our community. So I say that because mental illness is something that we don't really discuss, but it's just as much a part of our community as it is any community.
Yes.
And even though we see them use other faces to be the face of those particular disabilities, we must not forget. And I would even say that the churches are, I think, should be compliant in this and open to this as well. I mean, you want to serve the needs of our souls and our spirits and all that, but we have everyday needs that need to be addressed. And we can't just continue, at least in my opinion, this is just my opinion, continue to fund something that does not give back to the community. So as a community, we need to become more aware of mental health issues, and it needs to be talked about, because if we don't talk about it, then there's no way we're going to know about it. And we can't rely on mass media or general media. This has to be conversations, whether at barbershops, beauty shops, etc., and churches and places, even organizations. We have to be aware that these are things we should discuss, because this is what helps to give solidity to our community.
We also need to be conscious of that predator. The predator that's out there to try to get the handicapped or mentally disabled person to do their will and their bidding. This has no association with my daughter, but it has something to do with all of our children and all of our special needs.
Okay. All righty. Well, it's top of the hour. We have to have a station ID break. And stay tuned. We'll be back momentarily. Feedback. Hi, this is Theo Broughton,
And I am the BD Impinda,
inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for feedback.
a positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, watch WHPR TV network anywhere.
and take us along with you. Feedback.
This is Bruce Simpson, your City of Detroit Ombudsman. I am here to address all of your complaints and concerns. If you need assistance regarding city services, please contact my office at 313-224-6000. or contact us via email at ombudsman@detroitmi.gov. This is Bruce Simpson, your City of Detroit Ombudsman.
And we are back live and well and in living color. Or is that the way they say it? Live and in living color, something like that anyway. Oh, we had to take that time to talk about a serious issue that is going on. And as you know, we have had so many examples of racist acts, and we have to be aware of it. We have to know about it. We have to share it. We have to let people know that they got to be careful, more cognizant of what is going on in the community, outside of the community, in our other communities. And we will have some psychologists to come in and talk about the mental illness that is feeding into what is taking place. But you also need to know, I did mention the past governor, John Engler, who is the one who called up state departments, mental health state departments, and said, shut them down today. No preparation, no notice. This is your last day. Turn out the lights and go home. And they did that. All of the mental health patients who were in state facilities were put out on the street. Makes you wonder, were there other cities that did the same? Were there other cities that did the same?
And what I would like to, I'm not going to do it myself personally, but I'm sure that people who are collecting statistics, I would like to know what was the increase in the prisoner or jail population as a result of him closing those down, because the police still had to deal with individuals who had special situations. Maybe they only had a third-grade education. They could have had Down syndrome. They could have had so many other different issues, abusive issues when they were growing up. So how much did the jail population and prison population increase as a result of Engler's shutting down these institutions? Because these individuals had to go somewhere,
Right.
and all of them did not have families to go back to.
Right.
So we have to, and I'm just going to put it out here like this. There's a lot of sinister things that governments on every level, from city, county, state to federal, do. And we have to be aware of this, because these are sinister things. When you, for instance, there's supposed to be, I believe it's called SNAP. I'm not sure. There's a lot of federal programs that assist people who need food, maybe drugs and those type of things. I know that either it has or is supposed to be eliminated on the federal level. So what are these people supposed to do to survive? They're at survival mode or below survival mode now. So now you put them in a situation where they're desperate. So if they're desperate, then they may be the ones who go out and commit a crime, because to survive, you have to do what you have to do, whether it's steal food. It's not legal, but in order to sustain life, we will do whatever we have to. So we have to look at and be a part of the change that we are seeking.
Well, I just want you to know that Tawana Morris was emotionally stretched and is stressed, but she wanted to say thank you to Maureen Taylor for giving her assistance while she was in Georgia helping her daughter. Now, you know, I want to say one last thing. There's so much hatred, it seems, for the Mexicans and other Hispanics who are coming into this country, trying to come into this country to better their circumstance. But isn't it interesting that we have Canadians, hundreds and hundreds of them, coming into this country through the tunnel from Canada to Detroit, over the bridge from Canada to Detroit, to work daily, year after year after year. But nobody says anything about that. How many jobs are they taking? That's the excuse. We don't want Mexicans here. We don't want Hispanics because they're taking our jobs. Well, how many jobs are the Canadians taking from you? Think about that.
And when you think about it, add this to that as well. Not only are they taking jobs, but they're taking jobs that we want, whereas the ones who come from the southern border are taking jobs we don't want. So there's no competition. There's competition from those coming from the north, but there's no one who's gung-ho about going into the fields working, working in 45s, hotels, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
There's no competition there. We leave those alone, but yet we ostracize them and put a label on them and dehumanize them.
Right, and say nothing about the Canadians. But the one side note about that, when they come here and take jobs, the Mexican and Hispanics, the people here get bashed. Oh, you don't want the job. That's why the corporations hire them. Well, the difference is the cost of living is higher than the income can support through those jobs that the corporations want people to take, working the fields and picking cherries and working in hotels, restaurants, etc. There's definitely a difference. That's why you have a group talking about minimum wage $15 that the corporations are fighting against as well. Now, on the other hand, the Canadians, well, we'll have to check the exchange rate today, but at one time, the exchange rate, the American dollar was worth $1.50 in Canada. Guess what? The minute they got their paycheck and drove across the river, they got a raise. How about that? Anyway, telephone number here, just call 868-4336, 868-4336, if you have a comment, question, etc. Now, there is some happy news. On the 20th of this month, there is a movie. We interviewed the author of the script on this show, I guess about 3 weeks ago. And the movie is going to be here on the 20th of August. That's a Tuesday, the 20th of August. You should come and walk the red carpet with Hood Research. And you know what? I think the best dressed is going to win some money. The best dressed person will win some cash that night. Oof. Anyway, the movie Mirror, Mirror. We had the clips, the commercials on, and they will be played from now until then to give you a synopsis. And next month, let's see, next Monday, we will have the author on with us to talk a bit about it once again. But think about that. There's going to be a bus. Unfortunately, as big as the city of Detroit is, all but one movie theater has been shut down. I guess they don't want too many of us walking around the Renaissance Center to go to the movie. But Tyler Perry had to have his film, the last film about Madeira here. What's the city on that poster over there? The flyer I thought it was on the table. I don't want to say the city. I want to say it's Sterling Heights. Anyway, it's going to be at the theater where Tyler Perry did Madeira. We have one theater left in the city and no room in the inn. So it's going to be, what? Is there?
No.
Oh, okay. In Sterling Heights. And there will be a bus at the Dabo Center for those who need transportation and don't want to drive. So stay tuned. Mirror, Mirror is coming to Michigan.
And for those who are curious and want to just get a head up on it, you may be able to go to YouTube and just put in Mirror, Mirror, the film, and watch the trailers. And I can just tell you personally from having seen it, it is a very deep and thought-provoking film. And I think just the fact that the term mirror is in there, it would make you examine yourself as well, which all of us need to do. Wherever we think we are, we're not as far as we could be. And when you look in the mirror, as Michael Jackson said, the man in the mirror, you start to see get a deeper understanding. So we do look forward, August 20th,
That's
for
right.
you being in attendance with us, and it will be well worth your while. And I'll put my name on it. Take my
All
word
right.
for it.
All right.
It's true what they say. What every man really craves: power, wealth, respect, women.
I want you to enjoy the music, enjoy the open bar, and enjoy giving from your heart and your wallet.
I need you to expedite a few of my acquisitions. Push them through.
Look, I know how hard you've been working on these projects, Robin, but you need to understand something. It's over.
Calm down. You told me what?
I knew that you were a failure and it was only going to be a matter of time before you lost everything.
Have you ever just looked at yourself in the mirror and saw the true you? I mean, has your truth really been revealed?
Yes, sir, yes, ma'am. Welcome to FCC, ladies and gentlemen.
Have you ever just looked at yourself in the mirror and saw the true you? I mean, has your truth really been revealed?
Get your tickets today.
That's a good thing. Good thing. With that good news and the good news of the President Barack Obama birthday party, there was a lot of good that went on in the community. So.
And one more thing that's happening this Thursday in the community, August 8th from 5:30 to 7 p.m., adult yoga with Yoganic Flow. This is part of the Pistons Neighborhood Program, and you can come and join them for these free events. Now, the locations are Rouge Park North and Bennett Park, the Pistons basketball courts. Again, so for those adults, and I've done yoga over my life. I got to get back into it. Maybe this is an opportunity. But this Thursday from 5:30 to 7 p.m., adult yoga with Yoganic Flow. And the beautiful thing about yoga, for those who may be unfamiliar with it, is it's sort of like many of you have heard of Tai Chi, but it's not a stressful exercise. There are a lot of stretches, things that teach you about breathing, things that we should just incorporate in our lives anyway, just like a good diet, walking, those type of things. But yoga allows you, because as we get older, and this is for adults, we want to have a quality of life as well. And we don't want to just get older and like a car sitting in the garage, the parts don't move so much anymore. Well, they don't move because you don't move them. So if you have the time, this Thursday, make it a point to be there. Again, the location is Rouge Park North and Bennett Park, Pistons basketball courts.
That's right. You don't want to sit and rust away. And another thing, each morning when you wake up, you should take 10 deep breaths. Breathe in.
Yes.
10 times. Fill your lungs with air in the morning. That's a good thing as well.
And one thing for those of you who have pets, you know this automatically. When pets generally wake up, and I don't have pets, I've had fish, but they don't do they don't do anything but swim. But that's good too. That's motion. But when you wake up, even after you take those deep breaths, stretch your arms above your head. You don't have to get out of bed. Stretch your arms above your head, move them, point your toes forward. Just do things to limber up your muscles, your ligaments, your tendons, so that way when you get ready to hit the floor, you got a little fluidity about yourself at that point. But and I do that myself. Hopefully I'm in good shape, but just the same, I do it because when I get good advice, I take good advice.
And, we need to drink more water. More water. There are some people just take sips. Some people don't like water. I don't like water, but I try to drink more water because that helps your circulation, that helps your heart to get happy and beat better, you know. So,
And
that's
most of your
something else we need to
organs
do.
are the higher percentage of your organs, whether it's liver, kidney, bladder, your brain, your heart. There's a lot of water in there, and those cells need to be replenished. Now, from a lecture I have from Dick Gregory, and then this happened personally within my family as well, so I draw the two together. But he emphasized the drinking of water and the benefits of it. And he said that those, now we know that dementia, Alzheimer's, and other mental disorders that come from, well, they seem to not know the source, but a personal family member was told that the fact that they were losing some of their mental faculties, their ability to think quickly, was based on the fact that they weren't drinking water. Now, Dick Gregory in his lecture said that he has cured people of, he called it senility because we changed the names, but it's the same thing. Like bipolar was manic depression back in the day. So it's the same thing, but they make a little bit more money when they change the name, make you think something new came along.
Yeah.
But he emphasized that he had helped people correct and regain their mental faculties by just giving them a large diet of water. We tend to go away from it because we want something that has a taste. Now, pop, juice, et cetera, there's a certain percentage of water, but it's, and I was telling a friend of mine yesterday, Theo, because it's been hot these last, well, everybody knows it's been hot, that, you know, you might drink some lemonade, you might drink some tea, iced tea, but when you really want to quench your thirst, nothing's as good as cold water. Nothing hits the
Beneficial
spot.
for you. The other thing is water goes straight into the system, and anything else that you drink, even though water is the base of it, your body treats it like food, be it tea, pop, orange juice, etc. The body treats it as food, and it processes it differently. You don't get the same benefit as you do from drinking, what's the word, unadulterated water. Yes. How about that?
Yeah, and even the quality of water that you drink is important. I generally emphasize alkaline because your internal body is alkaline in nature, not acidic. That's why sometimes if you have what they call acid indigestion, there's just too much acid in your body, so you end up taking baking soda or some over-the-counter thing to counteract the acid because your body requires an alkaline nature. And one of the things that would help, and I do this, is just get some fresh lemons. If you can't afford alkaline water, just get some fresh lemons, squeeze it. Don't get the stuff that's that real lemon because that's, you know, it's been processed. Get regular
lemon juice in the bottle, you mean?
Yeah, forget that.
That's not
it's all right if you're trying to get by, but it's not going to help you health-wise. Get you a gallon of distilled or purified water, put it in there. It automatically becomes alkaline. I'm not a medical doctor, but I did something with my son. Now, as some of you parents know, children, once they get a certain age, they really don't want to listen to parents. My son had kidney stones, and the doctor, of course, is quick to write a prescription. I told him all you need to do is just drink some lemon juice and water. He did it. They went away. Now, I don't know if he listens to anything else I say, but he was happy to get that bit of information. So, you know, sometimes...
Kidney stones are painful, they say.
Yeah, because it dissolves them. And if you continue to drink lemon juice and water, you will not have kidney stones. And if you do other things, you won't have other problems. But again, we were talking off the air maybe a few days ago, when Theo and I, and actually we had someone on, I guess we were talking about health as well, and that became the phrase, I forget who our guest
Health is, oh yeah, who was that? Oh, was it Attorney McPhail? Was that who it was?
Yeah, we have so many people here and so much information. That's why you need pen and paper to write it down.
Absolutely, we do too. But in the meantime, this coming Saturday, which is August the 10th, we encourage you to join us at the Dabo Center. The location of the Dabo Center is 12048 Grand River on the corner of Wyoming. 12048 Grand River on the corner of Wyoming. The meeting is from 2 p.m. until 6 p.m. We have judges and lawyers and business owners and community advocates, community activists who come and they share information with all of us. We deal with the questions, we deal with situations, as you know, that are taking place in the community and with some of the individuals. So we want you to join us on the Saturday. The second Saturday of each month is the Hood Research meeting. And for this month, the Saturday, August the 10th, will be the regular Hood Research meeting for the month of August. We also want you to know that on the 20th of this month, we're going to see Mirror, Mirror. And Thabiti has already told you how dynamic the movie is, and you'll get a lot out of it and enjoy being with Hood Research. And the bus, if you don't want to drive and all, will be at the Dabo location. However, you should call 248-234-2371 for your arrangements. The RSVP will want you to have your tickets. You can get them this Saturday, as a matter of fact, to be ready to ride with us out to the film on August the 20th.
You know, the thing I want to also emphasize about Mirror Mirror is that a lot of times we'll see movies. It can be the Avengers and all these Marvel things, and then there's some lighthearted comedies, and there's some dramatic movies. But there are a few movies that I consider the type that will allow you to search your own soul, to examine your own self, and look at the reflection of yourself. And I think we need, particularly in this environment and climate now, we need to have forms of media that cause us to really consider what's relevant, what's needed, and how we interact with each other. Because one of the things about this movie, which is beautiful, is it shows the interaction of many different characters who all have had to do some self-examination. And it covers every racial group, too. I have to say it's very diverse, as they use that term nowadays. Mm-hmm. So it has African American, Caucasian, Hispanic, and other actors in it who have had to take a close look in the mirror at themselves. And I think we all need to do some self-reflecting, which will make us better people anyway.
Mm-hmm. We look forward to that. And know that we want you to walk the red carpet with Hood Research. And there's going to be a monetary prize for the best dressed on that day as well. Sounds like fun, doesn't it? We need to do a number of things to bond, to stay together, to learn, to teach, to share information, and to make the quality of life in our community a better place. We also want to talk about crime prevention. So if on this Saturday at our meeting you have some recommendations for crime prevention, we would like you to share those with us. Also know that last week we, a few of us from Hood Research, had a chance to go to the police headquarters to look into 911. I told them they need to tighten up 911, and also to have a demonstration of their facial recognition program. Now, at Hood Research, we do not support cameras all over our neighborhood. And the green light issue is a problem as well. And I'm sure it's a problem for business owners. The cost, I'm told, to set it up is $7,000.
Right.
And a monthly fee. A monthly fee. I'm told that there are 500 locations in the city of Detroit, businesses that have the green light, but they don't have 500 members of personnel monitoring them. So actually it ends up being a system that is more after the crime has been committed than anything else. Occasionally, they may have one that's noticed and taken place. But anyway, come Saturday, we can talk more about that. We are down now at the end of the program. And I like to say, it's not necessary for you to know everything. What is necessary is for you to know how to find what you need when you need it. And we at Hood Research gather as much information as we can to help us all make better informed decisions. Thabiti?
And as I always say, if you want to be nothing, do nothing. But the only problem with doing nothing is you never know when you finish. And we look forward to you being with us this Saturday, August 10th, from 2 to 6 p.m. at the Dabo Center for the Hood Research meeting. Bring your ideas.
Now,
stay tuned for Get in the Know with Marley B.
You're watching Detroit's own WHPR TV. Detroit Live.
Hi, this is Thabiti Mpinda from the Feedback Program. You can watch me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on WHPR TV Now app. Download our free app at WHPR TV Now.
Monday at 9 a.m. Eastern.